Welcome to This Explainer. Look, we're skipping the standard car review today and jumping straight into the absolutely staggering economics of hypercar ownership. We're zeroing in on the extreme reality of maintaining the absolute pinnacle of automotive engineering, the Bugatti Veyron. We all know they cost millions to buy up front, right? But what does it actually take to keep one of these beasts on the road? Well, take a look at this massive figure. Over $84,000. Now, you might think that's the price of a nice luxury sports car, a down payment on a house, or maybe a catastrophic engine rebuild. Nope. That is the cost of a single routine service bill. We're talking just a checkup, some basic maintenance, and a few parts. Seriously, the sticker shock doesn't stop at the dealership lot. This authentic, line-by-line customer invoice from Miller Motor Cars proves that the reality of maintaining a true engineering masterpiece is completely out of this world. It's kind of crazy to think that a single dealership visit can cost as much as a brand new Porsche. So, deconstructing this bill, we really have to look at the engineering required to do 250 miles per hour. It's absolutely crucial to understand that these astronomical prices aren't just some arbitrary brand tax for having a fancy Bugatti badge. They're actually anchored deeply in the extreme physics required to safely launch a 2-ton vehicle to world record speeds. I mean, at that velocity, gravity, friction, and heat are constantly trying to tear the car apart. Which naturally begs the question, why exactly does a simple tire swap on a Veyron cost around $40,000? That's roughly the same price as a fully loaded, brand new Honda Civic, just for 4 patches of rubber. To really grasp this, we have to look at what these tires are actually doing. And the answer lies in the custom Michelin pack system. These aren't your everyday tires. They have a specialized polymer support ring coated in gel so the car can keep rolling even if it goes flat. But here is the wild part. To make sure the bead stays locked into place, the tires have to be physically glued to the wheel. Literally glued. And that specialized adhesive officially expires every 18 months, even if your car is just sitting stationary in a climate-controlled garage under a silk cover. Time just breaks the glue down. Because of this intense mounting process, Bugatti actually recommends you buy brand new $120,000 wheels every 2 to 3 tire changes. There is just no way around it. Bugatti enforces these strict, impossibly expensive protocols for a very good reason. At top speed, those rear tires are spinning at 4,300 RPM. That creates a violent 5,400 Gs of force right at the tread. To put that into perspective, astronauts experience about 3 Gs during a rocket launch. At 250 miles per hour, the physics of the situation just wants to rip ordinary, unglued rubber right off the rim. Now, let's talk about the Volkswagen connection, because this is where the real financial absurdity comes into play. Since Bugatti is part of the massive Volkswagen Group umbrella, they naturally share a massive global supply chain. And if we look at data sourced directly from an EPA certification application, we can see the honestly hilarious reality of hypercar maintenance. Take a camshaft position sensor for a Veyron, for example. It's actually shared with a standard Volkswagen Golf and costs just $9. $9. But because it's buried deep inside a quadruple turbocharged W16 engine, Bugatti charges $7,200 in labor just to install it. Need new oxygen sensors? The parts themselves are a perfectly reasonable $300, but the labor to fit them is an eye-watering $15,000. On top of that, proprietary parts and complex warranties escalate the bill into the stratosphere almost immediately. Just look at this single charge for an LMP1 policy that runs $59,000. This covers a 1-year extended warranty, yearly maintenance, and a replacement of those incredibly expensive tires and wheels. It's essentially a massive insurance policy against the car's own extreme physics. So, moving on to what I like to call the rebel's journey of hacking the hypercar. What happens when rogue owners decide to fight back against this official system? What happens when they just decide they've had enough of the 6-figure service bills and start looking outside the official Bugatti network in Molsheim? Well, rebel owners like YouTubers Ed Bullion and Matt Armstrong are actively hacking hypercar ownership. Instead of spending $160,000 on the official Bugatti Pack's wheels and tires, one owner utilized $3,700 aftermarket forged wheels from China, wrapped in standard Michelin rubber. Need spark plugs? Instead of paying Bugatti's $786 markup, they track down the exact same NGK plugs, which are shared with a Volkswagen Phaeton for just $322. They are literally saving hundreds of thousands of dollars just by doing some homework and cross-referencing part numbers. And in the process, these owners are busting some of the most pervasive internet myths out there. We've all seen those clickbait headlines about the legendary $21,000 Veyron oil change. But as owner Ed Boley improved after a year of actually driving his car, a comprehensive annual fluid service is closer to a $3,000 or $4,000 reality. I mean, sure, it's still expensive, but it's not quite the exaggerated hyperbole the internet loves to share. However, bypassing the factory standard comes with some severe trade-offs. Yes, the DIY owners report a smoother and quieter ride at normal speeds alongside those massive financial savings, but, and this is a really big but, you lose your tire pressure monitoring system. And more importantly, you permanently trade away the ability to safely hit that legendary 250 mph top speed. Plus, if something goes sideways with those aftermarket parts, Bugatti might flat out refuse to ever touch your car again. Which brings us to the true cost of value. This is the ultimate dilemma surrounding hypercar economics and what ownership truly represents in the high-end collector market. Because a Bugatti, at the end of the day, isn't just a vehicle, it's a multi-million-dollar financial asset. The real threat of taking that rebel journey isn't necessarily a mechanical failure on the highway. The true risk is the massive hit to the car's collector value. When a future billionaire goes to buy your Veyron, they are paying for a flawless, documented, official factory history. As the experts say, for a collector, a line in the history file showing servicing outside the brand network can reduce the car's value, even when the technical result works perfectly. A cheap DIY fix basically breaks the myth of the car and can dramatically slash its resale price. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to take away from our explainer today. Is it truly worth neutering the fastest car in the world, stripping away the exact extreme engineering that made it famous in the first place, just to save six figures on maintenance? Or is the agonizing cost of perfection just the required entry fee for owning a piece of automotive history? Let that sink in. Thanks for joining me, and keep questioning the mechanics behind the madness.